And I am Saint Germain, and I come to be with you at this time in these momentous changing times. And yes, you are in those changing times. Indeed, it shall get much more tumultuous, you might say, over the times coming. But know that you have seen the beginnings of the great changeover that is in process. And we want you to start thinking of it in that term now, that it is a changeover that you are moving through. You can call it a transition, but we like to use the term changeover because you are changing over from the old third dimensional illusionary matrix into the higher fourth dimensional frequency and even into the fifth dimensional frequency. Yes, you experience this movement back and forth. 1 minute you are down low in the third dimension, seemingly low in that dimension, and the next you are up, and then you're down, and then you are up. But you are finding, more of you are finding now that you are residing more and more in the higher vibrational frequencies. You are able to withstand and hold on to that frequency more and more. And it may even just feel like a sense of, I feel good today. I feel wonderful today. I'm not sure why I feel so wonderful. I do. That you may experience more and more. And there will be times when you will have a blissful feeling come over you, a intense blissful feeling. And the more and more you hold that higher vibrational frequency and that higher consciousness, the longer the blissful feeling will last. And that is what you are moving into now as you move more and more fully into the fourth dimension and leaving the third dimensional behind. And you will find as you do that more and more, the third dimensional illusion will collapse for yourself. You will see it as collapsing. You will see it as not being as important as it once was to you. Even be in the moment, and we suggest always that you be in the moment and find that joy in the moment. But the higher vibrational frequency you are in, you will have more joy. That is the way it works. You will not see the ugliness that others may be seeing out there. You will see the beauty. You will you will see everything through rose-colored glasses or your fifth dimensional glasses, as we have shown you previous to this. That is what you are moving. That is the transition that you are in right now. And yes, you are moving toward the great solar flash that will indeed catapult you as a collective further and higher into the vibrational frequencies, never to have to return again, only as choice. Think about that. Only as choice will you have to experience any of the third dimensional illusion. But even as you experience that third dimensional illusion, it will not be as the reality that it once was. You will be free of that once and for all. Until perhaps the next time that you decide to do it again in some other system, in some other planet, some other galaxy, maybe even some other universe in the far future time. I am Saint Germain, and I leave you now in peace and love and oneness, and that you continue to hold that higher vibrational frequency within you. You continue to surround yourself with the violet flame and the I am presence that is already you, has always been you, has never not been you. You are the I am presence. Om Mani Padme Om. Om Mani Padme Om. 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 Greetings to you, one who serves here, and Shoshana is here, and we we are ready to continue this program, this training, this wonderful experience that we are all having with you, and we hope you are having with us as well, as you continue to find yourselves more and more and more in this higher vibrational frequency and higher consciousness as well. For vibrational frequency and consciousness go hand in hand. As one increases, the other increases. And as that increases, so too does the other increase, even so on and so on. And that's the way it works. And that's the way it continue to work as you continue to move through this transition and through this ascension process and gearing up, and we use that term specifically, gearing up for what is to come in the not too distant future, and certainly as you prepare more and more as your nervous system adapts to the energies and gets you ready, we will say, for the great solar flash when that occurs. We are ready for your questions now if you have them. We and Shoshana are ready.
Hi, I have a question. Oops. May Gwen who served, it was a wonderful meditation, and I have always trying to understand the solar flash from my own point of view here in the planet and how will impact the planet. But throughout the meditation, I was taken all the way to the central sun, and I kind of saw for the first time how the radiation of the energy of the solar flash impacted all the systems in the universe. Can you please expand on that?
As you were experiencing that, you were having the understanding, even as you had it. We know that you had this understanding. It came to you, even if only briefly, that you had that leap of consciousness within you. Perhaps it has faded now, but you had that sense of togetherness, that sense of oneness that came as a result of this, as the solar flash or as the light emanating from the great central sun of the universe moved through all of the central suns of all of the billions of galaxies within this universe, and finally through the sun of this solar system and to the earth. And what you experienced in that is likely what you are going to experience when it actually happens, but then multiply that hundreds of times over. And you will begin to have just a smidgen of what it will be like to experience that in that flash, in that moment when it occurs. Shoshana perhaps has more to give on this.
We can share. We ask that those that are working that racket that they mute their phones so that we can both hear. Can you please mute your phone? Okay. So dear sister, we will share here if you wish us to, and we will ask a question if we may. We ask a question.
Yes.
What is it that you would like to know specifically beyond what your experience was?
It was a very new experience in my consciousness that it's not going to be only the planetary change, but the whole universe and universes changing at the same time. And I would like more information on how is that going to be to the universe? The solar flash is going to affect the whole universe. How is that change will look like?
That is a That is a big question, dear sister, but we will attempt to give a broader understanding here.
Okay.
One must understand that all is one, and that is so difficult for the many to really truly understand that all is one, which means that when one thing happens, it affects all of the one. So if the solar flash occurs and the beings on planet Earth are affected in some way, why would the solar flash not affect the beings on other planets? You see, so there are those that are ready to receive this solar flash and ready to receive the next dimensional awareness that it will bring. And those that are ready to receive do not have to reside on the planet Earth. They can reside on any planet, and if they are ready to receive the upliftment, the dimensional awareness, the expanded consciousness that this beautiful event will provide, then they will receive it, you see, because all is one. There is no real distinction between the planet Earth and other planets that are circulating in the universe, in the solar system, in the universes beyond the solar system. They are all in states of evolution and evolutionary awareness. So just as your own thought, one little thought, can affect the continent of Asia across the thousands of miles across the ocean and the land, one little thought can reach another, so can this magnanimous event affect all. Namaste.
Wonderful. We are ready for next question.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Just have a question about how powerful we as light beings are. We don't know when the med beds will be available, but been told that we ourselves can repair our own bodies, and just wondering if you could give a class sometime of how to do that.
It is not so much how to do it, is to just do it. That is where you are falling short here at this point, because you are looking for a method, looking for a tool, looking for something scientific that says that now you can do this, now you can heal yourself, now you can heal another, and so on and so on. But it is not that. It is the belief that you can do it that allows you to do it. And we know that is difficult for those of you that still that still need to see it before you believe it. You see, and until you change that into the reverse, until you believe first, then you shall see. That is how it works. And as the vibrational frequency continues to rise and consciousness continues to rise, that will move you more and more into this belief status that we're talking about here. And then you will find that your belief will then create what you are able to experience, rather than experiencing creating your belief. You see? Toshana, do you have something you...
Well, we can share. We can share here, and we can expand this idea that you have given to this one, if we may, dear brother. May we share?
Always.
Dear brother, indeed it is each being's level of consciousness that allows them to do things beyond the human condition that they find themselves in. You have been taught through your cultures and through control mechanisms in your social structures that you are limited, you see. You have limitations, and indeed, you do have somewhat limitations because you find yourself in a material world and in a physical body. However, there are story upon story upon story of beings that have repaired themselves, that have the consciousness and understanding to fix their bodies. We would ask you to read about the being called Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Read his story. He had a broken back. This is important. His doctor said, you will never walk again. You will be confined to a wheelchair for the rest of your life. And he did not accept that, you see. And he found a way to repair his body by knowing that there is a great consciousness available to all, the God consciousness that knows exactly how to repair a body, that he called upon, that he meditated on, knowing that there was this consciousness available to him that resided in him, you see. So we would ask you to find those stories, because within those stories are the lack of limitation rather than the thoughts and concerns of limitation. They teach you something, you see. So within each individual's consciousness is the idea that they cannot. So when the belief is that they cannot, you see. So it must be with your words and your thoughts that create your beliefs that will give you the power to heal yourself. This is no small feat, as your conditioning and your programming is dense and deep, and this is what you must overcome. There is no class, there is no set of instructions that can teach you how to think, that can teach you how to speak. You see, you must learn this yourself through exploration, through looking at other beings that have done this, by calling upon your own higher God self to do these things. But we must caution you that you cannot give this to another. You cannot teach this to another. This is what you must embody to expand your own consciousness and move forward beyond the 3D matrix. Namaste.
And we want to add here, and this is for not only this one who has asked this question, but for all here, look at how far you have come. Just in the terms of being in these calls, in this group, with this Prepare for Change group here, and how far you have come in understanding and higher consciousness, so that the questions that you are asking at this time are far beyond the earlier questions that you asked in the beginning. So much more in terms of vibration and consciousness. And that is what it is all about. As you continue to raise your vibration and your ensuing consciousness, you will find more and more that you will have the capabilities, and the limitations that you had previous will be no longer. This we promise you as you continue to rise up in vibration and consciousness. Think about that. How far you have come. What you are saying in one of your commercials of a long time ago, you've come a long way, baby. We are ready for next question here. Any further questions?
I have a similar question.
Yes.
Well, yeah, with the energy, it's bringing up all of my thoughts structures, beliefs, false programming especially, and I realized how programmed I really am. But now I'm independently sort of stepping aside from my thoughts and observing them as an observer. What I've noticed is it's just it's kind of a general question, is that how do we kind of reset where we're at now? And let me give you some detail. In the past, let's say I'm just say in the past you've attempted to manifest something, or you've wanted to manifest something, or you believe, and it never happened. Okay, so, and you've done it a couple of times. This is all in 3D. Well, now you have the belief, or more importantly, the doubt that it can happen. So now if I reapproach that and I want to manifest something, or it's along those same lines, I realize I'm not the being that I was. The energy is certainly different. So how do we sort of clean the slate or reset? Because right now what I find is that the mind is still sort of, the ego is still trying to protect the being. And what it does is, because of this disappointment, I guess that's the term, that you go to attempt to do something you've tried to do 100 times before and never manifested in the past, but you still want to hold the belief that it's possible and that you can do it. But there's a protective mechanism in there that also says we don't want to experience disappointment and not achieving the goal this time. So how do I reset my belief system to master the current energy, where to me, everything should be back on the table now, and just kind of forget that whatever past I've had as far as manifesting and all that stuff, it's in the past. It doesn't really exist. That was more of a 3D thing. But I have to sort of, convince my mind or try to redo my belief system so it believes that anything is possible now.
We will say within this question that you have asked, you have already answered it. You have already begun the process of, as you are saying, a reset here, because you want the reset. You are ready for the reset. You are ready to be done with the old third dimensional illusion and the limitations that came with this. And because of this, you are on your way to moving or removing those limitations and becoming the you that you know that you already are, you see. And as you come more and more to that belief that there needs to be a reset, then you will find yourself more and more within that reset and having accomplished that reset. You see, that is how it works. Again, raise your vibrational frequency, your consciousness raises. As your consciousness raises, the vibrational frequency continues to raise, and so on with the consciousness, and you leave the third dimensional illusionary matrix behind as just that, an illusion. And you begin to more and more realize the reality that you are moving into in terms of fourth dimension and fifth dimensional frequency and consciousness. And then the belief comes more and more to you, and with belief comes the seeing. Okay, Shoshana?
Perfect.
To add here, dear brother, or do you have a satisfactory answer?
I do. I'd like to hear your perspective as well. It's always a good learning process.
Dear brother, you have exposed, in our perspective, the reasoning behind the lack of movement forward in your life.
Correct.
And you have named it disappointment. So you have named the thing that stops you. Is this correct?
I guess it is. It's just to some extent, I guess I would label it that.
Well, you labeled it that, and we heard that because any endeavor to manifest has to be free of the emotional fears and the emotional embodiment of disappointment or fear or lack. It has to be free of that. And that is a difficult thing. So here's the key to all of this. Most people that are believe that they are enlightened, that they are beyond this emotional body that we carry around, that we have control over, or we think we do not acknowledge the emotional body. Do not give it credence. And this is not the correct way to move past it, you see.
Correct.
So we think you are understanding what we are saying. So here is what one must do. When one feels fear, when one feels disappointment, it is not correct to dismiss it. It is correct to move through it. It is correct to think about it. To think about what the genesis of it is. Why am I feeling this? And come to the idea, and you must come to the idea that it is a false reality. That it is not, it is a programmed reality, it is a false reality. You can move past it. But we will tell you that the emotional body that you all carry around that has been deeply programmed will attempt in every way to hang on to it. So you must use your will, your brain, your intelligence to talk yourself out of it. But you must do this in a repetitious way. Because you must understand that when the ego is acting up and hanging on, it will take the upper hand unless you take the upper hand through your will and your understanding of the false reality. And it is a repetition. It doesn't happen overnight. So
and
if you have
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, please.
I was going to say, so it just seems like you just chisel away at that process until it overrides the old programming, because it is, that emotional body is the trigger. I think that's more it versus something intellectual. I've already started to sort of distance myself from my egoic thoughts by observing them, right? But so the process is just to keep pushing through until it overrides that old process with the new process.
Yes. And that is what all people that find themselves reaching their destiny, reaching what they wished for, they have found that moment by moment they have chiseled away at the program, at the false reality, at the fear, at the disappointment, because those things, those fears and disappointments are sewn into the fabric of the culture to keep you down, to keep you at bay, you see. So once the individual knows that this has been sewn into your reality as a way to keep you down, you can conquer that, you see. And it is a chiseling away. And all those that have the stories to tell, that have written the books, at how they moved forward and manifested their desires, they did just exactly that, moment by moment, day by day, moving forward, recognizing the false reality, and making friends with it, because it will show up, and it will try to show up, you see. But it is up to you, your will, your divine power, to not allow it to overcome you or overtake you. Does this make sense, dear brother?
Absolutely, 100%.
Namaste.
And
Namaste.
we would add here, and what we think may help many of you in terms of the technology changes that are coming, especially in terms of your med beds. And when you begin to experience the healing qualities that come from the med beds, and realizing that it is your consciousness that is imbued within that med bed that is doing the healing. And when you realize that, you will begin more and more to understand that you have the power within you, and you will no longer even need the med beds or the celestial chambers or any of this. you will be able to do it completely because your consciousness is ready to provide that experience for you.
And that belief system is now in process or in place where that could happen.
With the med beds coming forward, do you mean?
No, I was just saying, and at that point, your belief system internally is completely clear and believes all those that you can heal yourself without a crystal chamber.
That is correct. And then you will even be able to put your hand out in front of you and have whatever you want to manifest right there within the hand. You will not even need the replicators anymore at that point. That is where you are moving toward, dear ones, each of you. We are ready
Perfect.
for one more question.
Thank you.
If it is, we do need to release channel here.
Brother.
Is there any further one question here? Nothing further? Then, Shoshana, do you have parting message?
We will say to each of you, in each moment, in each breath that you take, acknowledge your power, acknowledge the God within, acknowledge the source that has sourced you into this planet. Acknowledge that magnanimous power that pumps your lungs, that beats your heart, you see. That is the divine power of the being, and that all things are possible. But you must call upon the consciousness of the God self that drives you, that divinity within you to push you through. Namaste.
Very good. And we simply say, as you have heard many, many times now, trust the plan. Shanti, peace be with you. Be the one.
This call is being recorded.
Children of the Diamond Heart, I enfold you in the golden flame of my love. I protect you by the armor of my power. I raise you by the hand of your own divinity. I bless you by the fullness of my light. I give you the scepter of your own dominion. I seal you in the eternal freedom of your ascension. In that ecstasy supreme, the presence of the Diamond Heart, I am. And so, beloved family, we are welcomed into this perfect moment. I ask you to take one deep cleansing breath as we begin. For this is the breath of life, the breath of love, the first and eternal gift from Source. Here now we focus our attention on the threefold flame within our heart. The golden flame in the center is our eternal connection to Source, activated with every heartbeat. And the golden thread that rises from it connects us to the central sun. See this golden flame grow and expand to encompass the entire physical form and all your higher mental bodies. The pink flame, which represents the divine aspect of Mother God, and the blue flame, which represents the divine aspect of Father God, come together in perfect harmony and balance, dancing together to create the violet flame. Picture the violet flame growing and expanding to encompass the entire physical form and all your higher mental bodies. As you picture this for yourself, know that you activate these energies within every human heart, rising up, raising up into perfect unity. Now, visualize yourself holding your arms out to your sides. This is the diameter of your tube of light, a beautiful, seamless pillar of white light which keeps you protected and insulated from this moment on. Visualize beloved Saint Germain and the violet flame inside your tube of light. Feel the love, the power, the purity all around you. Breathe it in. Visualize the violet flame outside your tube of light for added protection. We now call upon beloved Archangel Michael and his sword of blue flame, this brilliant blue and powerful sword of truth. Feel how it fits your hand perfectly. Bring it to your heart chakra. Set your intention. Raise it up. Swing it around your head and down around your entire body and 2 times under your feet. Feel how the violet flame consumes and transmutes all these energies you have released. Feel the freedom you have achieved. We also ask the beloved Goddess of Purity to hold space in all these areas until our ascension process is complete. Now, take a moment. Look down your tube of light. It is bottomless. It continues down into Gaia, inner Earth, and connects you to the crystalline energetic structure of Mother Earth. Now, look above you. See your tube of light. It is never-ending, reaching high into the heavens, connecting you to the crystalline energetic structure around the Earth and onward to the galactic central sun. So now we say, thank you, beloved mighty I Am Presence, for this tube of light, which keeps me invisible, invincible, and invulnerable to all negative creation, and keeps me free now and forevermore until I am sealed in the eternal freedom of my ascension. And we thank thee, it is done. By the power and might of 1,000 suns, for the light of God never fails. The light of God never fails. The light of God never fails. And the mighty I Am Presence is that light.
Now remaining in your tube of protective white light, focus a moment on your breathing as you take several deep cleansing breaths. Just focus on relaxing and letting go with each breath, letting yourself move further and further within yourself, letting the outside world just drift away for a bit. Take a deep breath now, in through your nose, breathing in the light, and exhale out any tension, stress, negativity of any kind. Take another deep breath, breathing in the light, and exhale out the darkness. Then breathe in the light, and exhale out the darkness. Now put your attention in your etheric body and become aware of the 9 chakra centers that have become awakened and reawakened within each of you. And focus on the particular alignment of those chakras up along your spinal cord, from just below your feet to all the way up through to above your head. And see that perfect alignment. And if it is not in perfect alignment, just simply nudge that chakra back in with your visualization. And as you focus on each chakra in turn, Focus on the particular color of that chakra, but not so much the color, but the intensity of the color. For as you raise the intensity of the color, you are raising the vibrational frequency. Just think of this as a tool to help to raise vibrational frequency whenever you want to. Now focus on the Earth Star chakra just below your feet, that grounding chakra to Gaia herself, and see that as a deep earth brown color. Then moving up to the root chakra at the base of the spine, deep ruby red color. Moving to the next, orange, bright, brilliant orange. To the solar plexus area, brilliant, bright yellow. To the heart center, the midpoint between the 4 upper chakras and the 4 lower chakras. Deep blue-green. To the high heart center, magenta. To the throat area, sky blue. To the third eye in the middle of the forehead, purple or indigo. And to the crown chakra at the top of the head, gold or violet or silver. And then the soul star chakra just above your head, pure brilliant white. Now as you focus on all of those chakra centers and their respective brilliance and intensity of the colors, again, you've raised the vibrational frequency within that chakra, which then raises the vibrational frequency within the corresponding glandular function, which then raises the vibrational frequency within your entire cellular structure within your body. All the connecting meridians within your body, the energy points, everything raising in vibrational frequency. So feel now your entire physical body vibrating now as all of the chakras have come together, come alive, and come together, merge them together now up into the soul star chakra. And feel the vibration moving all the way through your body so it finally moves all the way up into that soul star chakra. And you, as your conscious knowing self, move into that soul star chakra. And feel that vibration there now as you've raised your vibrational frequency to a very, very high frequency. Actually, think about it as approaching the speed of light or a third of the speed of light. That kind of vibrational frequency is faster and faster and faster, vibrating higher and higher. Feel yourself now being in that soul star chakra, which is now your Merkaba light vehicle. And you can visualize that as a three-dimensional six-pointed star and a small ship, if you will, that you can now travel in. And feel yourself beginning to pull up away from your physical body, still connected to your physical form, but feel yourself pulling away from it in your Merkaba light vehicle. And notice as you pull away, see that violet flame that has completely surrounded your physical body now, completely protecting your physical form. But now see that violet flame beginning to expand further and further and further out from your physical form. And also at the same time feel yourself in your Merkaba light vehicle, in your light body, rising higher and higher. And as you raise up into the sky, through the clouds, up past the Earth's atmosphere, and look back down, see that violet flame now that is continuing to expand. Once you started the expansion, it just continues and continues and expands out to encompass whatever building you might have been in or whatever your surrounding area was, and continuing to expand out past a village, a town, a city, a state, a province, all the way out to encompass an entire country, an entire continent, across the oceans. And as you're looking down, you see it expanding now, connecting with all of the other violet flames throughout the entire planet, both internal within the planet herself and surface-wise, and also above the planet as well. Violet flame completely engulfing the planet now, engulfing Gaia. And as the violet flame expands and expands, it continues to purge out all of the old programming. So the old programming is purged out from your physical body as well as your emotional, astral body and your etheric body, your energy body as well. And all of it expanding and purging out all of the old programming that is no longer needed. For as the old programming purges out, so too does the old matrix of the third dimensional illusion. So see that now being completely purged and disintegrated even, the third dimensional illusion being no more. See that happening. Don't think about it in terms of a time frame, just that it is happening and is in process of happening now. So see the third dimensional illusion becoming a higher vibrational frequency reality in the fourth and fifth dimension. And as this is happening, as everything is purged out, as everything is becoming anew to the higher vibrational frequency, anew to the fifth dimensional frequency, and people everywhere coming together, people, animals, all understanding the connectedness, the oneness that is all around, feeling all feeling the I am presence within them, experiencing that within them. And you experiencing that within yourself, both in your Merkaba light vehicle high above the earth and at the same time down on the earth. You can be in two different places at once. As a matter of fact, you can be in many different places at once, but for now, just be in the two different places. Feel yourself, your unlimited self, for you are indeed unlimited. The only limitation that you have is what you put on yourself. For in reality, there is no limit to what is possible, no limit to what you can find and gain within your lives. So feel that expansion now. Feel your entire consciousness expanding and growing and connecting with all of the ships and the consciousness that are out here in the ships and the consciousness within the planets themselves, the great beings that ensoul these planets, and the sun, the solar logos. Feel the connection to that consciousness as well. And know that the solar flash that you have been speaking of and that you have been hearing more and more about over the years, know that that solar flash is coming closer and closer, because the events that are happening throughout the galaxy and throughout the many galaxies beyond, all the way to the central sun of the universe itself, the solar connection to all of life here in this universe, is expanding and sending out more and more and more light. And that light is moving throughout all of the central suns of all of the universes, or all of the galaxies rather, and see it moving to each central sun and moving to the next and to the next and to the next until it reaches this sun, the central sun of this solar system. And a flash of light. See that flash of light shooting out from the sun and to the earth. A brilliant flash of light. And in an instant, in just an instant, everything shifts. Everything shifts in your consciousness, and you begin to see the world. You begin to see life as you have never seen it before in this lifetime or in many previous lifetimes to this. All of life opens up to you now. And see that connection, see that life opening to you. See the world opening up to you in terms of consciousness, in terms of oneness. Again, oneness with all of life. Even if you have had a love and a connectedness to the earth, to Gaia, to the plants, to the animals, it is nothing compared to what you will experience and what you are experiencing in this moment as you feel that connection to all of life, and you feel the high vibration passing through not only your etheric and astral bodies, but your physical body as well. Feel your physical body vibrating. Again, you can be in two different places at once, high up into the heavens as well as there on the earth. Feel that connection. Continuing to feel that connection, allow yourselves now to begin to be drawn back down in your Merkaba-like vehicle, in your light body, coming back to your physical form, and feel your etheric and astral body merging back in with your physical form. But again, feel that high vibrational frequency that you felt, even if for an instant, and have that memory of that solar flash that you experienced. Whatever it was for you, feel it all the way through your physical body now as the meridians in your body open up and allow energy to flow everywhere in your body. Energy flowing to every single corner of your body and through every cell of your body, and your cellular structure becoming more and more crystalline as they begin to more and more metamorphosize into a crystalline structure away from the carbon-based structure. Come back now into a complete state of consciousness and circulation, fully revitalized and refreshed.